Hey everybody, Dockside Gamer here, and welcome back to the channel. Now today I am back in Dark Souls 3 doing my bows only run, and if you watched my last episode, it was ending right here at the Gravetender's Champion. I gave him an attempt, it didn't go well, and now I'm going to give him a couple more today. If I don't get him right now, or in my next attempt, I'll give it 2 I guess. I'm going to go back through the DLC and try and explore that way. If you guys like this kind of stuff though, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Really helps me out. It's free and you can always unsubscribe later. Okay, first attempt of the day. Now, one thing I'm realizing, that if I can just take out one of them, it doesn't have to be the wolf, it doesn't have to be the Gravetender shit, just one of them, then I think I could do it. Because honestly, the Gravetender's Champion isn't difficult. He kind of behaves like an actual player, where he knows that you're firing arrows at him and he will keep his shield up, or he will try and dodge your arrows as much as possible. Now, my main weakness in these runs is multiple enemies. That's always been my issue. Unless you count the Crystal Sage or whatever the heck its name was, then obviously magic was a big weakness. But that was when I was at a lower level. But my main weakness, I find, is multiple enemies at once. Because I can only fire 1 arrow at a time. The 3 arrow ability of the Black Bow of Ferris isn't really great. It's more for getting right up in the face of a big enemy and hitting it with 3 arrows at once. But I can't really do it here. Now if you notice, Gravetender's Champion, keeping his shield up, and I have to try and time my arrows just right. Now if I just fire off random arrows, he'll either dodge out of the way or block him with his shield, and I'll do minimal damage. I have to wait till he's just about to attack me, or when he's coming out of a roll. That will help me do as much damage as possible to him. Now once he gets down to about half health, the wolf will spawn in, and then it's 2-on-1. Now, someone can tell me in the comments below, but you encounter this wolf earlier in the area. I don't know if you can actually kill the wolf, but if you are able to, does it spawn in this fight? Someone in the comments please let me know, because honestly I don't know. I've always fought that wolf in that part, and it's always disappeared before I could actually take it out. And then later on, I would fight it. But anyway, so I have him, it's just below half health, I guess. And the wolf still hasn't spawned. Oh, no, he's calling it now. So now it's going to be 2-on-1, and the wolf has full health. Now, this wolf, honestly, it behaves a lot like Sith from Dark Souls 1, where it does some speedy attacks, and honestly, it's a big target. So, like, really, my main goal right now is to try and take the wolf out. I think taking the wolf out so I have one-on-one against the Gravetender would be my best strategy. Just because that wolf does a lot of boss damage, and the Gravetender, he doesn't seem to be too aggroed to me right now. He's kind of like keeping back and letting the wolf do most of the fighting. If I can take the wolf out, I think I can do this fight. But there's the first step, and honestly, I don't want to throw myself at this too much. I just want to give it a couple more attempts, maybe just one more, and then move on. I don't really want to waste more and more time trying bosses that I might not be able to do until I, at the very least, upgrade my bow to +7, which, if you guys remember, it's behind the dates. But anyway, I'll let this fight play out, and I will see you guys after. Again, if I can just take out that wolf, I think I'd be alright. But that's another death. I'm going to explore the rest of the DLC and see if I can get some progress elsewhere. Now, there is this was just like an optional route, so I do have like the main route I can take through the DLC, and then I can kind of maybe get some extra levels and come back to that boss fight later. I don't have to do that boss fight. If you guys do want me to do all the optional stuff, I will attempt it. But like I was doing in Dark Souls 1, where I only did, I think, one of the DLC bosses in Artorias, I don't want to keep throwing myself at DLC bosses if I'm not going to get too much progress done. Like, when I was attempting Artorias, I think it only took a couple attempts, I can't really remember too much. But when I was trying Manus, that was like throwing myself at a brick wall, and I wasn't making much progress. And with Calamite, it was kind of the same thing. I was just kept throwing myself at a brick wall. Now, in this DLC, I know the bosses... The last boss in Sister Freed, she might be doable. She does have 3 phases, so my arrows would probably be the main concern I'd have. But I just don't know if I want to throw myself at that brick wall. And I know the Ring City, there are some difficult bosses like Midir. There's what's his name? And the final boss, someone in the comments can correct me. I know his name, just can't think of it at the moment. Those bosses are going to give me a lot of trouble, and I don't know if I want to just throw myself at those ones, because I'm not going to get much better of a bow. I'm not going to get better bow. That's just facts. The Black Bow of Ferris, I think, is one of the best bows I can get without having to put in 2 extra stats outside of my dexterity, which is already at, I want to say, 40. So, like, I'm gonna start seeing diminishing returns in my damage soon, because I'm hitting the soft caps on my stats. That being said, if you guys want to see it, I will make at least a couple of attempts on the bosses. If you guys would rather just see me progress through the game and actually finish the run, I'm okay with that. Please let me know in the comments for that. So once again, like with the bow, it can be useful. Like right here, I'm able to pick off a lot of these extra enemies, where if I had like a sword or something, then I'd be right up there. But honestly, I don't think these things are all that difficult, and they don't give a lot of souls, so I don't really think it's really worth actually fighting all these. It's kind of just a waste of arrows, which I'm probably just gonna end up running through a lot of it. Maybe that's my main problem, that through a lot of the areas of the game I've just ran through just to get to the bosses, thinking that I'm good enough to actually beat the bosses without having to level up. That has not been the case for a lot of this run. I was able to do that early game because the early game bosses are not really that difficult. I can't do that now. I think I'm going to have to either focus on grinding up for levels, or just fighting things naturally and seeing how I do from there. But I know the one thing holding me back right now is not having my bow upgraded past +6. I need Titanite chunks, and I'm not going to get them. But that's a problem for the future. That's not a problem for right now. I'm just going to be going through the rest of the area and seeing how far I can get without having to upgrade my bow. Alright, let's see. So one good thing about the DLC, I do get new armor. The Slave Knight set, Slave Knight Gale, that's the end of the boss of the Ring City. I could not think of that until now. But anyway, without interrupting myself, the Slave Knight set isn't actually that bad of an armor set. The armor set I'm using right now is from the giants at the start of the DLC, and their armor's just really heavy. So if I compare that with the Slave Knight stuff, then that should provide a little bit more defense than the other armor that I've been using, or the no armor that I was using for the first part of the game. So honestly, doing the DLC right now is probably one of the better things I could have done, just because that I'm getting some extra items that I actually do like armor. Alright, let's continue. So at the end of the road, I come back and unlock a gate that will allow me just to run straight up the hill next time I come through the area. And honestly, I don't know how well the shortcut that actually is because I do have to go through a lot of enemies just to get there. And I don't want to go into any areas that I don't really need to explore. I know souls are really good to get, but honestly, the difficulty of some of the enemies in this, especially with just a bow, it might just not be worth it. And I'm not going to be getting any new weapons here or any decent upgrade materials. I think it's large titanite shards is what I'm getting here. But that's besides the point. Anyway, I'm going to head back to Firelink and maybe try my new armor and get some more arrows. I will be right back. Okay, so now, as you see, I am using the Slave Knight set. It's lighter and it still provides a decent amount of defense. Now I'm going to be utilizing the shortcut I just opened, and you're going to see why it's a little bit more difficult than I would like. This thing right here, that does a ton of damage. He 2-hit me. He 2-hit me. That's insane. Anyway, I respawn and I run past him. He's still chasing. So thankfully, he will, stop chasing me after a little bit. Thankfully, because I can't deal with this guy and deal with that thing at the same time. Now, this guy, he is an NPC you meet earlier on in the area, and he's not happy, and I'm not doing much damage to him. I can't let him hit me because he will deal a lot of damage back, and I'm pretty sure he can heal. So I'm dealing, 86 damage per arrow. That's not a lot. He has a lot of health and a lot of defense, and he can deal out a lot of damage. So I'm just going to be trying to pelt him with arrows as quickly as possible. But here comes the main issue. Right here is going to be the problem. He heals. So, I think I got him anyway, and he's going to heal. And I don't deal enough poise damage to knock him out of that heal, and that heal will fully heal his bar. And I'm pretty sure, someone can correct me, NPCs in this don't have FP. They can infinitely spam their heal. If you know that to be not true, please let me know in the comments. But, like I said, I can take his health down to about 75%, and he'll just heal it back up. This is going to be an endless fight, and I don't have the arrows to do it, and I don't have enough souls to buy enough arrows to just justify me doing this. So what I'm going to have to do is probably upgrade my bow. I don't like saying that because I know where I have to go in order to upgrade my bow. I'm going to keep trying them. Maybe I can get lucky and knock him out of a heal. Maybe a headshot would do it. I'll try that next time I'm here. But I didn't think of it. I'm like, when he starts getting down to heal, I'll go into my manual aiming and try and get a headshot. Maybe that would knock him out. Anyway, he takes me out. I need an upgraded bow. There's one spot I have to go, and I don't really want to say it, but it's time for Dancer again. So, let's go attempt Dancer. Now, going back to a dreaded spot that I hate being at now. This wall is painful. I know it's at the end of this wall. Dancer has not been kind to me. If you watched one of my shorts that I uploaded earlier, I did get some revenge on Dancer in Night Rain, but I also had 2 other people. I was still using a bow, but I did have 2 other people, and I was a little bit stronger than them. I don't know. Let's see how this fight goes. Maybe I'll take him out this time, but I'm not really that confident in my ability. Alright, let's watch. this is gonna be a while. I'm gonna do another attempt, and I'm probably gonna call it after this because this video is getting a little long. But honestly, I'm at 3 roadblocks. Sorry, 3 roadblocks right now. I'm at Dancer, who is keeping me from upgrading my bow. Gravetender's Champion, who's just an optional boss, he would be good for souls. He's not really a roadblock. I don't have to go back and fight him, but I'd like to. And then there is someone correct me. He is another roadblock that I can't get past through the rest of the DLC. So I need to get something. Either Dancer has to die so I can upgrade my bow and continue on the main game, or I go back, try headshots on Vidheim, and then hopefully that knocks him out of his heal. Because that's what's keeping me from beating him, is him being able to heal up his entire health bar in one go, and I can't knock him out of it. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep trying Dancer. I'm only going to give her one more attempt today. This is my last attempt for today. And then I'll be back with more attempts probably next week. But let's see how I do. So I'm getting close. Honestly, I'm getting pretty close to killing her. I just can't do any more attempts today. I've died way too much so far this video. So I am going to call it here. I do appreciate you guys watching. Have a great day. Bye bye.